Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 33 of the When in Doubt podcast. We're absolutely excited to be here. I'm Hayden. This is
Matthew.
And Noah.
And we're back for episode 33. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to episode 33 of the podcast. We are officially in Olympic season. One of my favorite times of the year, honestly.
Of the year.
Of the every 4 years.
Yes.
But the summer, where it is the Olympics, kind of a magical time of the year. You got a lot of these incredible athletes being able to, show off that they're the best in the world, and it's always fun to have it on in the background. We had to get I think it's Peacock subscription.
Yeah.
We had to get, my family got a Peacock subscription just for a month, just so we can have Olympics on all in the background and have all the different stuff and all the different random sports, which, talking about random sports, we'll get that to that later. But with that being said, Matthew, it's been a minute since you've been on the pod. How's life?
It's been good. It's been busy summer. But I'm back home this week, and then I'm going to move in this coming Saturday. So
It's crazy.
Where are you moving in?
I'd like to keep that confidential.
Well, college.
College.
To the dorms.
Yeah, so I'm not saying you have to say where you go. I'm just saying you're moving into college.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm moving in off the streets. Finally allowed back in my family's home.
Matthew was under the interstate. He's finally moving back in. We're not quite sure where. No. But yeah, same with me. Heading back to, well, not for me. We're both heading into college for the first time ever. Kind of crazy. We posted an update video. If you haven't seen it already, it's on everything, I think. All of our socials, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, all that sort of stuff. Kind of about the update of where the podcast is heading with that. Which, by the way, something I guess I don't really need to talk about this on while we're live on the podcast, but I think me and Gavin were talking about it. I think we might just call it season 2 of the When in Doubt podcast and start back from episode 1 and then just keep going. Just because it's with the numbers, they get a little high, and then it's like
Joe Rogan.
Yeah, true. I don't know. We're gonna discuss that. We'll discuss that off air. But with all that being said, let's get to the Olympics. The first person to talk about, how can you not talk about him? Noah Lyles.
Absolutely.
Just to kind of give, for those who don't know, Noah Lyles is a sprinter. His favorite event is the 200 meter, I think. He did just win the gold in the 100 meter, so. And he was world champ in the 100 meter. But his 200 meter is his main event. And this all started a while ago. The reason why a lot of people have a hatred for him is he had a press conference after he actually won the world championship 100 meter dash. And he went on air and basically said, you know what pisses me off the most is that when the NBA champions win the NBA championship, they hang their banner up in the rafter that says world champions. And he goes, world champions of what? The United States? So he pissed off the entire NBA, like all the NBA players, the whole fan base, because he basically was saying, if you're the NBA champion, you're not really the world champion. You can't be putting up world champ banners in your rafters because you're just playing against USA competition.
I mean, he has a point.
Now, what are your thoughts about that, though?
I mean, he's technically right. I mean, like, the World Series, like, the world champs, like, it's of the U.S.
Yeah, but we have the best basketball.
That is the thing.
Okay, that's true.
Yes.
But you can't say we're the best in the world every single year if you're not playing against every single team in the world every single year.
I mean, I don't know. I think there's
I get what he's coming from, but at the same time, you can't, say that. We can say that, but a professional U.S. sprinter, now officially the world's fastest person, cannot say that. That's not allowed.
I don't know. I think what he said isn't wrong, but at the same time, I still don't think he was in the right place to say it.
It is correct. The words he said were correct, but he was not supposed to say those words.
Supposed to. Yeah. Oops, I didn't mean to say that. No, I think a lot of the hatred from the NBA fans is a little bit unnecessary. I think it went a little overboard. But with that all being said, a lot of the reason why people have this kind of annoyance from him is not only just because that one statement he made, but he has got to be the most arrogant guy you've ever met. But the question is where's the line from arrogance to confidence? Because he would argue that it's not arrogance, but it's confidence. But everybody around him argues that it's arrogance. So where do you guys set the line between arrogance and confidence?
I think once you go past Johnny Manziel, then you're in the arrogance section. Like if you're at the Johnny Manziel level, you're at the confidence level.
Well, then I definitely
put that on a quote.
No, I think there is definitely some sort of line you have to find, because obviously in sports, to be one of the best athletes in the world, you have to be confident. You can't be like, oh, I really hope I win this event. Like, I'm really happy for my other competitor. You can't do that. You got to be like, I'm going to go out and win this event. Like, I believe I can win this event. I believe I can do this. Go. Like, it's not, you can't just like wuss around and win be the fastest man in the world. That's not what you can do. But at the same time, there's definitely times where I see quotes of things he said online and stuff he says where I'm just a little bit like, a little cringe, where it's like, man, I don't know if you need to go that far, dude. Like, you're okay, great. That is so impressive. You're a ridiculous athlete, but really, like, I don't know. It's just, sometimes I feel like these professional athletes got to find that line a little better.
Yeah, a lot of them, kind of are full of themselves, but I guess when you fastest person in the world, like,
you kind of have to be.
Yeah. I mean, okay.
But there is a humbleness to it, because it's like when you are the fastest person in the world, everybody knows you're the fastest person in the world. You don't need to go running your mouth about it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you kind of let your legs back it up,
Yeah.
And the problem is that a lot of people are having is that there are so many haters towards him, towards Noah Lyles, like being like, dude. Because what was funny is going into the 100-meter dash at the Olympics, he was not the favorite in that event at all. But he was talking it up like he was going to just kill everybody. Like he was, he posted on like before, on like Twitter, I think, or on Instagram, and all he said was like, America, I got this, no worries. And he posted that just like that, no context on Twitter. And it's like, wow, all right. So in an event you're not even the favorite, you're going to go online and say, America, I got this. Don't even worry about it. Like, put all of America on your back and be like, yeah, don't worry about it, dude. This is my event. This isn't even my favorite event, but I'm going to just go win it just because. So, like, there's that. But then there's also the fact that he just went out and won it. I just have a few facts. He's the world champ in the 100-meter and 200-meter. He's now won the gold medal in the 100. And tomorrow he will race in the finals to win the gold medal in the 200, which he actually took second in his semifinals heat. But what's funny is about the 100-meter, he took second in his like qualifying heat and second in his semifinals heat, but then won the finals. So he, kind of was, people are saying, oh, he's just kind of like conserving his energy, saving it to get to the finals, which could be very true. But at the same time, the announcers on there, on NBC or whatever, were saying Noah doesn't really like to lose. And it's not really like him to conserve energy. So either this is a new Noah we're seeing at the Olympics where he's like willing to conserve energy and take a loss, because he's, with all this talking that he's doing, it's pretty hard to take a loss, even if it is in the semifinals. Yeah. But the question is, will he win it? The 200-meter. It's his specialty. It's the event he is the favorite in, which is funny because he was talking up the 100 like he was the favorite. But he took second, so.
Yeah, important to note that by the time this episode comes out, we'll have already known.
Yeah, true.
If the medal comes out, just a clarification.
Yeah, that is a good clarification. At the time we're recording this, obviously it's tomorrow. We're recording this on a Wednesday, so the 200-meter finals is on a Thursday. But by the time this comes out on Saturday, we'll already know. So I guess this talk won't be as substantive, but it's still a good talk to have. Noah Lyles, ridiculous athlete.
Yep. Almost as fast as Matthew.
With that being said, moving it on to not only the best right now at their sport, but the best all time, Simone Biles. She's pretty good. She's the GOAT. I mean, I don't know if there's any arguing that. She had the twisties, which is basically the yips for gymnasts in 2020 at the Tokyo Games. That was the whole thing. I don't know if you all remember, this was a long time ago now, but she basically went out on the Tokyo stage. She was the favorite to, win floor, win vault, win
everything.
Basically everything, and help the U.S. win all-around gold, and she was going to win all-around individual gold. And she had the yips, which at the time we were not really sure where that was coming from. With that being said, a few months later, it came out that I'm losing my spot in my notes here. The medical doctor for the Team USA was abusive. Now is in jail for 40 to 175 years. So In hindsight,
40 to 175.
Yeah. So he sentenced to 40 to 175 years in jail, and he was abusive to all the women on the USA 2020 gymnastics team. Yikes. So you could see how, in hindsight, we didn't know that at the time, but how that obviously could have put her in a headspace that's pretty hard to go compete at the highest level after the medical trainer that you have to be with all day is doing that to your entire team, you know.
I heard that she got like vertigo, like where she like
she had some documentary come out and I watched it with my family, and this is, I mean, all this information I'm taking is basically straight from her mouth. I think there was a lot when it initially happened. I think there was a lot of rumors of what happened. Like people were like, "Oh, she's sick. Oh, she just had the yips. Oh, she had the twisties, basically the yips for gymnasts." All this sort of stuff, and then obviously all this information about the medical doctor came out months later after like many like trials and stuff like that. So obviously that kind of might have been one of the reasons. I'm not saying that was the only reason, but I definitely think obviously that can play into the fact that you're trying to go compete and win your country gold medals, and that's the type of thing you have to deal with behind the scenes. That's unheard of to be able to do that at the highest level. But with all of that with all of that crap happening to her and the Team USA, they come out. She already won the individual gold. She won the vault gold. She took silver on the floor, which was a big upset, actually. She was supposed to win the gold on the floor because that's like her best event, but she stepped out twice. She helped the Team USA once again win all-around gold as a team. She's a beast. And everybody on Team USA looks up to her. They talk about it. Like every Instagram I see is always people are like, "Oh, if you can talk to one person on Team USA, as somebody on Team USA, who are you talking to?" Even the athletes are like Simone Biles. They're Simone Biles fans, even though they're famous athletes.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool to have somebody in our lifetime be the GOAT in their sport, hands down, and just be a beast constantly, even with all that stuff going on. So yeah, Simone Biles, she's an absolute beast. I should have looked up how many medals she's won. It's ridiculous. It's like 9 gold or something.
It almost seems like it's too easy for her. Like,
yeah.
Like everybody's just sweating their butt off trying to just compete, edge their way onto the podium, and Simone Biles is just standing at the top pretty much every time.
Yep.
I mean, like for other countries, it's like they're just trying to win a medal, and for Simone Biles, it's like disappointing if she doesn't win like multiple golds and multiple medals.
Ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, man, disappointing Olympics. I only got 3 golds and 4 silvers.
All right, moving it on to another guy who kind of blew up on social media.
I know what you're gonna say.
This is a fan favorite, Steve
Nedoroscik.
Sorry, I scuffed that last name. I don't know how to pronounce that. That's a really hard last name.
Doesn't matter. It's Steve.
We're just gonna call him Steve. But long story short, he got brought onto the men's gymnastics team specifically for the pommel horse.
And nothing else.
Nothing else. He does absolutely nothing else except the pommel horse, which is basically the event where it's like that like wooden log situation with the bars, and you like do like circles on it.
Matthew can actually do it.
Yeah, do you want to? No, but he literally specifically Team USA brought him on just for the pommel horse. He did nothing else. But what was awesome is that the Team USA as a team had, for men's gymnastics, had not won a medal since 2008. And Steve himself, with nerdy glasses and all, whipped off his glasses like Clark Kent, bro, turning into Superman, got up on that pommel horse, and would clinch the team bronze. So, he's an absolute beast, and he's
Clark Kent or Kent Clark?
What did I say?
You said Clark Kent, but
Clark Kent.
I always mix it up, so maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Kent.
I'm not saying you're wrong, but
Yeah. It's now I'm like having. Now I'm checking out. I think it's Clark Kent. Wait,
it should be Clark Kent.
It's got to be, right?
I thought it was Kent Clark.
Clark Kent.
Quick detour here on the Way Out podcast.
Yeah, Clark Kent. It is Clark Kent. Superman.
Clark Joseph Kent.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
Come on, gotta know that.
Okay, but so Steve, he's supporting the glasses gang. I'm a big glasses guy, as you can see. But some other fun facts about Steve. Out of the 94 million Rocket League players, he's in the top 1%.
Yeah, I saw this.
And he is
I didn't hear about this.
he is a grand champ in Rocket League.
He's good. Rocket League.
Which puts him in the top 1% of the 94 million players playing Rocket League. So not only is he one of the best pommel horse people in the world, because forgot to mention this, he also won a bronze medal in individual pommel horse.
Yep.
So not only did he help the team clinch USA team bronze, he also won in that event specifically by himself, bronze on pommel horse, which is ridiculous. And he can also solve a Rubik's cube in under 10 seconds consistently. He used to be a speed cuber.
Yeah.
So
did you see the photo Team USA posted of a pair of glasses on the chalk bowl, and just with the caption, "You know what time it is."
Yeah.
And everybody knew what was happening. Like, he's on.
So sick, dude.
Oh man, he's become a legend.
Yeah, and his like thing is, I was writing it down because I was reading like articles and like interviews. He said he's like, he likes to say he's a nerd. He's happy to be called a nerd because he thinks nerds make the world go around, which has to be the most true thing anybody's ever said. Like, let's be real. Behind every big business, behind everything ever you see, it's some nerd, some math guy who like made it up, who invented it, who's the best at it, who's making all the money in the end. Yeah. Like, it's nerds do run the world, and that's just how it's always going to be. And he's super cool with that. And he doesn't hate being called a nerd, and he's just a beast in the pommel horse, and he's just crazy. Super nice guy. He's like through all the interviews and like all the stuff you see on him throughout the Olympics, it's hard not to love him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't really think he has any like haters or anything.
No. Unlike Noah Lyles.
Everybody that watches the NBA plus NBA community.
Everybody loves Steve. How can you
not love Steve?
All right. As I get to the next, Noah, can you go check for me?
Oh yeah. We're still recording.
All right, so coming to our last athlete that I wanted to like kind of focus on this episode. This one, not as accomplished yet, this Olympics yet. It hasn't all been over. He still has some events left, so I don't want to jinx anything.
Let's not degrade it. Yeah. He's in the Olympics.
Yeah, I'm not degrading anything.
I'm not saying you were, but like he's...
he's one of the fastest sprinters in the world. I shouldn't be talking, but he's not Simone Biles. But... nobody can else. Nobody can.
Only Simone Biles is Simone Biles.
But his name is Kenny Bednarek.
This conversation.
His name is Kenny Bednarek. Once again, scuffed last name. That's on me.
We should probably figure this out sometime.
Yeah, I don't know. I should probably looked up how to pronounce the last name.
Unimportant things. What's their name? So.
Okay, well, this Olympics, he took 7th in the 100 meter, which is not his main event, but he did make it to the finals. I mean, he's one of the 8 fastest men in the world.
Yep.
So that's pretty ridiculous. With that being said, his favorite event, the 200 meter, last Olympics, 2020 in Tokyo, he took silver in the 200 meter, and he is the second favorite behind Noah Lyles tomorrow to win the 200 meter. So not the favorite, but second favorite. But the main reason I'm touching on this is because he is from Rice Lake, Wisconsin, which we're not in Rice Lake, but we are Wisconsin natives, if you can't tell by context clues from the 33 episodes we've done now. Big Wisconsin guys out here, so it's pretty cool to see somebody. And
it's the greatest state in America.
Greatest state in America.
actually,
Said it here first.
Have you ever had cheese? Wisconsin.
Yeah. Or Texas. I like Texas.
Big Texas guy? Everything's bigger in Texas.
Everything is bigger in Texas.
Yeah.
That's what they say. But kind of my interesting fact for him is that he still holds the 200 meter and 400 meter dash high school records for any division in Wisconsin.
Yeah,
so
I mean, reasonably so.
Reasonably so. I mean, he's in the Olympics, but it's still kind of cool to think about because, like, someone who literally was in the Wisconsin school system. And also, to finish our athletes, did you know that Wisconsin has a total of 18 Olympians this year? 18. That's a pretty big number.
That is.
Like I wish I should have looked up how many.
Wisconsin sports are overlooked, man.
Mm-hmm. We're good at a lot of things in general. Mm-hmm. Like we do.
I mean, what's like Wisconsin, like kind of as a whole, other than the Bucks 2021 when they won everything, it's just we've always been like solid teams, but never actually winning anything.
Yeah,
well, I'm not even talking about
especially the Badgers. Badgers also have the exception when they made it to the championship in March Madness.
Yeah.
But like all Badgers teams, they're like always solid, but they're never. You never think they're going to win
except
anything.
Women's volleyball Badgers.
I'm not even talking about at the professional college level. Yeah. I'm talking about like high school sports are like overlooked, kind of like everybody says. This state's got the best football. This state's got the best basketball or whatever. It's like Wisconsin's got pretty solid sports.
Yeah, we do.
In terms of high school,
I 100% agree. I think if we went to in all these different sports, football, basketball, even the smaller sports, in all these different through all these different states, and just did a huge kind of best all-star competition between all the states, I got us in the top 10. I mean, maybe even top 5. I honestly do. Like, I mean, okay, yeah, of course, these massive states like California.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's no way top 5.
Yeah,
I mean, Florida, Texas, California, and New York.
Yeah.
So that's 4.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know about New York, though. I mean, for like some of these sports, I mean, it depends on which sports you choose. But if you go deeper, New York ain't winning at, like tennis. There's about 30 other states that they're losing to. So it's like, it depends what sports you're choosing. But in general, obviously, California, Florida, Texas, they're going to dominate probably just because of the sheer amount of people they have. But besides that, I mean, I really feel like Wisconsin would do well.
Yeah. I mean, we do decent.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Did we just invent a new, like, the U.S. Olympics, all 50 states compete?
That'd be pretty sick for like high school sports.
Oh my gosh. NBC, DM us.
That would be open and like imagine like a football like a massive playoff at the like end of the high school season where you took your best football team, you recruited your best,
from everyone.
Yeah, for everybody in the state, and played football games and like made a playoff. Top, maybe top. I don't know, top 16.
I say we kick out Hawaii and Alaska. They're too far away.
Just because.
Yeah. Well, then it's 48. Perfect bracket.
Oh, good point.
Nope, never mind.
No, that's not how brackets work.
Pretty perfect for the most part.
What do you got us in? Do you guys in the Final Four? How far do you got us going in that? Football.
Jeez, I don't even know. Like
there's no way Final
this
Four,
year's team, like this past year's team. I don't think we're going as far.
Prior years in Wisconsin, though, you think we can?
I'd say like.
You think we can? 2
years ago, 3 years ago, we would have been competing. Would have been some close games.
All right.
But you never know. It's hard to tell.
All right. Well, I mean, we just invented a new event.
So that would be sick. I would watch that
so
110%. Yeah. Same with even like college level too. Like I mean, like take your best.
I'm just saying, like we do the Olympics, but for U.S. So it's every state competing against each other.
Yeah, that would be cool too. I mean, we were thinking more like high school, but you could do it high school, college, or professional level, and just different sports from like different states. I mean, obviously, competition wouldn't be quite as intense, I'd say, or at a highest level because you don't have the whole world. Because it's probably hard to find 10 rhythmic gymnastics players from every state. Which perfect transition to our weird Olympic sports segment.
Yay!
Where I'm gonna go over some weird Olympic sports. I want your guys' opinions on them, but I need you to be brutally honest in the end. Should it be an Olympic sport? Okay. Should it not be an Olympic sport? And then I'm going to give you a few other sports that aren't Olympic sports yet, and I want you to tell me if they should be an Olympic sport or if they shouldn't be an Olympic sport. All right? So I want to start it off with this sport because I just found out about it today while watching it. Do you know what a steeplechase is?
This is an Olympic sport?
Olympic sport. It's called the steeplechase. You ever heard of it?
No.
So it's a track event. It's a 300-meter run, but it's in an obstacle course-like fashion. They have massive barriers, like barrier walls, that are basically massive hurdles set up throughout the course. And you have to run around laps, 30 meters. And there's also even one where there's a miniature pool that you jump over like this barrier into a pool of water, and then you have to run out of the pool of water. So it's basically set up like a obstacle course with just random like logs on the track that you have to just jump over. And it's called the steeplechase. And it's a sport.
And
is it in the Olympics?
Yeah, just saw it. The finals. Apparently, the guy who was the national champion of the steeplechase in the U.S. took a silver medal today. And I didn't.
Why is this different than the hurdles?
Well, no, it's like so you can step on top of the hurdles. Like they're massive barriers. Like they're not just like hurdles you jump over. By the time you're 2,000 meters into the race, you're tired and you can't just hurdle over because it's super tall. It's taller than a normal hurdle. You can literally like jump up on it and like hurdle, like jump up with your foot on top of it and go over it. Like it's like a massive like wooden log sort of thing. And it's basically like an obstacle.
We already have so many racing events too, and it's like you already have hurdles, and I get like it's supposed to be different, but
that would be entertaining to watch.
No, it was. I'm gonna be honest. I had never watched it before, and it was really entertaining. I mean, honestly to me, it kind of felt like they were running a really long race where accidentally the people who were at the Olympics were like, oh shoot, I accidentally left some water on the course, and I accidentally left some massive bricks and stuff in the way, and you had to just avoid it. So that's kind of what it felt like.
It
watching.
Sounds interesting, but I don't think it should be an Olympic sport.
So steeplechase. I would vote
no.
What do you vote? No?
Yes? I say no.
I say yes.
I mean, throw it in. You might as well. You already got some other random sorts. You might as well throw in steeplechase. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to vote yes. I found it interesting today. Never knew it was a thing, and it's not at the high school level, obviously, because you need a lot to facilitate that, because you have to like jump over one of the logs into a pool of water and then run out of it, so you can't really, not easily at the high school or even college level, so it's not as popular here, but there were a lot of runners from other countries. There was only one U.S. guy in the whole like field for the men in the championship, so, but I just thought it was interesting, so I had to bring it up. Moving on, I've 6, so I'm going to do one sport that's in the Olympics, and whether it should still be in there or no. And I want to do one sport that's not in the Olympics yet.
Just alternate?
Yeah, alternate. Okay. So, moving on next, flag football. It will be in the 2028 LA Olympics. Should it have been an Olympic sport a while ago? What's your opinion on flag football? Should it just be normal football? What's up with that? What's up with football in the Olympics? Matthew, tell us from a football player's perspective.
I think flag football is a good idea. I don't think normal football should ever be in the Olympics.
Agreed.
Because it's just like games are so. I'm not like, I know hockey games are physically taxing, but football games are so physically taxing to like play a tournament style of football is just, it's not possible.
Yeah.
It's you would need like a whole like year.
Yeah. I know what you're saying.
With the amount of teams that would be competing, and so, yeah.
I think beyond that,
flag football is an amazing idea, and it should have been added years ago. Flag football is great.
Yeah, no, flag football. I'm not saying that is the only thing that I will say about that is that, at the same time, it's like that is an issue. I didn't even really think about that, but my biggest issue is, who in the heck is putting together a football team that even has a chance against the USA? Because, people make that argument about basketball already, which obviously the competition in Europe has gotten a lot better. But back in the day, Dream Team era, they were like, dude, it's not even like, this shouldn't even be an Olympic sport. It's not even fair. The games weren't even close. The USA just got a gold medal every year. Every year they put their best team, they won a gold. Imagine that with football. Dude, who's guarding Stephon Diggs? Your janitor from Jamaica? No.
I think it should be an Olympic sport, but that said, not a single other country is going to come close.
I think flag football levels out the playing field between countries a lot more.
I think flag football actually
It'll be a fun race for second.
I think flag football gives other countries at least a chance, where tackle football, not even a chance. I mean, you don't even have a...
Yeah, there's not even much argument against that. That's just kind of like a fact. That's the way
and Matthew has a good point with the, like, just being, like, too much work. But it's also, like, obviously the Olympics are a big deal, but, like, these NFL players are on $100 million contracts, and they're not going to risk it for a couple games at the Olympics just to screw over their entire career.
Possibly true.
So you gotta keep it at flag football. But yes, flag football 100% should have been years ago.
Matthew, you think it should be too?
I think it should be.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. Yes. I think it's a little bit funny just coming from the U.S. perspective. It's like tackle football. It's football. It's a little funny because flag football kind of feels like the dumbed down kids version of football, but at the same time, it's like it's still cool, and it's cool to have it in the Olympics of football of any sort. So I'm happy for that. Next, moving on to another sport. This is, I think, new. I should have done more research. It's called breaking. It's literally just breakdancing.
This year.
It's literally this year. So it's literally called breaking. It's literally just breakdancing. Olympic sport.
That's too subjective with judging. Like in gymnastics, there's so many like technical things that judges are looking for.
Yep. Yeah.
Like with the way you land, the way how straight you are. You're not all it. How do you judge breakdancing? I mean, I don't see that. That's
I agree. I mean, it's still cool, but I mean, it's not a sport.
Yeah, like sure, somebody can train hard and work to be like have really cool breakdancing moves or whatever, but like,
I'm sorry, it's just funny to say.
I don't know how you compete or judge that.
I don't. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I don't know.
I would say no.
I think breakdancing, as much as, once again, I'm not saying it wouldn't be cool to watch.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure
it's super impressive. But at the same time, when you're thinking like, oh, what's your favorite sports? Said no one ever. Breakdancing!
Well, what is a sport? Said no one ever. Breakdancing.
Yeah. It's like, I would watch a breakdancing competition.
Yeah, that's cool.
That'd be fun. That'd be cool, but like, it doesn't have a place in the Olympics.
Yeah, I 100% agree. No offense to the breakdancers of the world, I'm sure out of the, hundreds of people who watch us, there's maybe
if there's a professional breakdancer out there that wants to be on the podcast,
we will take you on. You can argue to us, and then we'll
switch our opinion if you come on the podcast.
Yeah. All right, moving it to...
Holy smokes, 60-second ad.
Yeah, I know, it's brutal.
Oh my god. What is the world turning into?
Moving next to a sport that is not in the Olympics. Okay. Before I give my opinions on it, pickleball.
I think pickleball could be interesting, but it's still just too new. You know? So, like, I just don't think...
Is it a sport? I don't think it is. I think it's a backyard game at most.
It definitely is a sport.
I don't know. How do you even put a definition on what a sport is? Like, what?
Why is there a horror movie ad on there?
What do you?
Not a horror movie.
What is?
That isn't. But there.
No.
That was scary. Though.
It was not a horror movie.
That was scary.
Matthew, what do you put? What is your definition of a sport? This is a pretty hard question to answer, especially with all this Olympic talk right now. But how do you even define a sport?
That's just such a rough area.
Multiple athletes competing against each other at the goal of winning a championship.
So eating.
What?
Multiple athletes just seeing who can eat more food faster. That's the exact same definition you just gave.
It has to have a ball or a puck or...
What about track?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Or legs.
There has to be
there's
some it has to do with rules less than whether there's a ball involved or not.
I don't know. I think
it's a difficult area.
Yeah,
I'd say.
I agree. But with that being said, pickleball. What do you think about it?
I think it. I think it's like Noah said. It's fairly new, becoming popular. But there's set rules. There's scoring.
I mean,
it's a pretty low bar there.
But the problem is how big is it around the world?
Yep.
And
as of right now, pickleball. Don't quote me on this, but I saw some Instagram post where there's certain requirements for something even to qualify to consider to be an Olympic sport. It has to be played by a certain amount of countries, a certain amount of people in each country, a certain amount of men and women all around the world. There's a bunch of things a sport has to go through to be able to be considered even questioned as an Olympic sport. And pickleball just doesn't get that right now because it is so much. It's very prevalent in the U.S. Obviously, fastest growing sport in the world right now, or in the U.S.
Yeah.
But it's not the fastest growing sport in the world, or at least maybe it is. I don't really know, but I know it's not as big in Europe as it is in the U.S.
Yeah.
There's no pickleball professional stuff in Europe yet. I know they're working on that. I know they are, but it's not there yet. So I feel with that being said, with there literally being no professional pickleball at all in Europe, I feel you can't make it an Olympic sport yet. So I'd say no.
I'd say if honestly, I get that it's really far away, but I say 2032. That's 2 Olympics. I say
I would say even more than that. I'm saying more I don't know. I don't even want to give it a time. I think
maybe
it's got to wait
2048.
I think it's got to wait a while because this next sport I really hope is in the Olympics sooner. And I was looking up stuff about it.
Wait, isn't this next one the?
No, the next one I talked about that isn't in the Olympics.
Okay.
All right, heading to something I did mention a little bit earlier: rhythmic gymnastics.
Nope.
So, rhythmic gymnastics, the exact definition, it takes all the difficulty of normal gymnastics while adds dancing, drama, music, hula hoops, plenty of whimsical twirling, and music to the mix.
Whimsical twirling?
But the gymnastics, you can judge that and score that. How do you judge the music and the flailing on the floor?
You don't.
That's.
Me and my dad were just talking about this the other day, and we were actually getting mad that it's an Olympic sport. We're this is so dumb.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I'm not saying that I'm not saying that it's not hard, and still you have the best people in the world doing it. But then again, you're just laying on a mat, throwing a ball in the air and spinning it between your legs. It's not.
Give me a week, and I could do all that besides the
splits. No, you could do the splits.
I can do the splits.
You can do the splits?
Yes. Besides
Let's see.
No way. That is so impressive.
Oh my god.
Besides the
wild podcast here for episode 33.
When have you
Continuing on.
How long have you been able to do that?
The flipping and gymnastics moves. Give me a week, I could do all that flailing on the floor.
Gymnastics, it's wow, she just did a triple backflip with 2 twists in the air. That's incredible. And then you watch rhythmic gymnastics, and it's wow, she twirled that ribbon really nice. Exactly. Not a sport.
The way you put it, that was pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie. In my head, I was trying to convince myself, like, oh, it's gymnastics though, so it's kind of it is impressive. I'm not saying it's not. That's ridiculous, especially the gymnastics part. But the swirling around with the drama and dance.
You're saying if Matthew pulls up and he's like, watch this, and he does a double backflip, half twist on the ground, we're like, that is the craziest thing I've ever seen. That's impressive.
Yeah.
Then Matthew's friend comes over. It's like, watch this. She does a handstand and twirls a hula hoop on her foot.
Whoa.
Okay.
Now we're talking.
No. Yeah. That
might be like, okay, that's cool. Matthew, do your trick again.
Yeah. I get that.
Like, it's not a sport. It should not be an Olympic sport. It should not be something that people are training for. Like, if you can't do gymnastics, womp womp, find something else. I don't know if rhythmic gymnastics, like you want to play a sport where it's like, whoa, you play soccer for the Olympics? That's amazing.
Yeah.
You're a rhythmic gymnast for the Olympics? Shoot me.
Oh my gosh. No, I don't know if it's that intense, but I see where you're coming from.
Very passionate.
Yeah, you're very passionate about this.
It should not be a sport.
No, let me get my wild guess of a vote. No. What do you think?
I'm also gonna say no.
Yeah,
I agree with Noah, but not with the heart that he has, on the position he stands.
I'm gonna have to agree.
So
I don't know.
I've gotten a little carried away.
I don't know if I'm as intense as Noah, but I think
it should not be an
options.
Olympic sport. Mm-hmm. There we go.
All right, moving
let's
to our final sport. That's not an Olympic sport that I'm a big fan of. I'm a massive fan of. Can you take a wild guess?
Spike ball.
Yes, spike ball is the sport that I'm talking about.
This would be actually really, really fun for an Olympic sport. I just don't know if it's popular enough.
So, I mean, it's been a sport for long enough. It's been a sport a lot longer than something like pickleball. It has a pro scene that started in 2016, I think. 2014 or 2016. Pro scene for spike ball. And it's been growing consistently. More and more players coming out to these, big spike ball events, including me. Me and my brother play professional spike ball. Fun fact. So that's pretty cool. And it's a super fun sport. You gotta be athletic, and also it's not something where you need it's
hard.
It is difficult.
It is not pickleball is more of a sport where it's like you can just go and play for the first time with your friends. This is not a sport this is not a game you can do that with. You need practice. Yeah. It is not easy.
I mean, you can. I think I disagree because I think you can play it, but you're just not playing it at the level that everybody else is.
Well, here's the perspective I want to put on it, though. Because, for example, let me say...
You're going to miss the net a lot.
Yeah, I agree.
But then also, with pickleball, you're going to miss shots a lot. So it's you're just...
That's true.
Anybody can pick it up and play it, but...
It's a lot harder.
You can't play at the level that...
Yeah, I agree, but here's the perspective I was thinking of it at. Let's say a Division I tennis player picks up a pickleball paddle and plays a game against a professional pickleball player. Not saying he'd win. Not saying at all he'd win. But I would bet you that game is a lot closer than you think it would be because this Division I tennis player has been probably playing racket sports for his entire life and not even going to say sorry. Tennis is a heck of a lot harder than pickleball. It's not even close.
Yeah.
80-years can play pickleball
and
competitively.
And to be able to play pickleball at a high level, not saying you don't have to be good. You have to be athletic. You have to be super coordinated.
Close as tennis.
So to put this in another perspective, me and my brother, there's 5 divisions of professional spike ball. We play Division III spike ball. If me and my brother played you and Noah, and we started you guys at 19, I have money on me and my brother. And that's just because of...
Have you seen my defense against you?
Oh, wait, we get 19? No, we're winning. If you go to 17, you might win.
Okay, fine. Okay, to put it in perspective, let's just say 17.
They're
put it in 17, we're only Division 3 out of the 5 divisions of round.
Tossing strays, man.
Out of the 5 divisions of professional round, we're only Division 3, not Division 2 or Division 1, which are the best players in the world. We don't even make the top 2 divisions. We're Division 3. Yet our friends who are very athletic, play a lot of sports, play college sports, have been playing sports their whole life, can barely get 3 points.
No.
Yes.
I got at least 10 on you. With my defense and Noah's chopped fruit ninja moves, dude.
not when we're not in the water. You know what we'll do? We will test this out next time which it'll be a while because we're going to go to college. But next time we're all around here, we will, on the When in Doubt podcast, we will post an Instagram reel of me and my brother. You guys can start at
19.
17. No, you said 17. You said 17.
Okay, I said 17. We lose. So 18.
Okay.
18.
17.
See, now he's not confident.
Okay, fine.
Oh, yeah.
This is actually about to happen.
Okay, 18.
We can make it 11.
18. So all I'm saying is this was not trying to me hate on my friends. This was me just saying that I think spikeball, you have to be a lot more talented to be a top-level spikeball player than you have to be a pickleball player. Because I put money on the fact that a Division I tennis player can pick up a pickleball paddle and be a professional pickleball player in under 2 months. And I have not even a chance. Someone who's a crazy athletic, even a volleyball player who a lot of the best spikeball players are ex-volleyball players. You just can't. There's just so much you need to learn about spikeball, like the specifics of the form and all this sort of stuff. It's so much more advanced than something you can do with a frying pan and a wiffle ball.
Frying pan?
That's just, I'm sorry. That's my opinion on it. I have to say it. And although this pains me to say it, I don't think it's ready to be an Olympic sport just with the player base that it has. But 2028 Olympics, I'd love to see it literally as soon as possible when there's enough people that play professionally and would be willing to watch it. Oh my gosh, it would be awesome. I'm a huge fan of it. I say yes, put spikeball in the Olympics. That's my take on it.
That would be amazing.
I'd love to see it in the Olympics because it's very, very entertaining to watch.
Yep. Yeah. All right, sorry, that got a little hey, you know what? I want to apologize to you guys. Listen. Hey.
Yeah, because you...
No. I mean, I hate playing. Like, we've done this kind of thing before where it's like me and Matthew will play against him and his brother, and it makes me so mad that we cannot score 3 points in the time it takes you guys to score 21. Look, I get that you're better than us, but how is that happening?
The funniest part is that me and Brady would go out and play Rogue Round Net. If you know anything about Round Net, they're like the best Round Net team in the world last year. And we'd probably lose 21-2, maybe even 21-1.
I mean,
that's just the levels.
We'd start 19-0 and they'd win, and then they'd go against the top players in the world
and start 19-0
and they'd lose.
Yeah, it's just I think it's I don't know. I find it really impressive, and also just playing it, I find it incredible. Like the top players, especially now, kind of playing that like middle level professional as a professional sport. It's really cool, like seeing those top guys just being like, wow. I mean, these guys are just beasts at what they do. I mean, they're pushing ahead. They will be the guys who, once spikeball really does burst in the mainstream, which I think it can, they will be the guys who I'm like, yeah, these guys, I saw them. I got to sit on a bleachers in Chicago and play in the tournament. I mean, not in the same division, but I got to play in the same tournament as these people who are now making massive sponsorship deals. And I mean, a lot of the top pros do make enough money where it's their job fully. But I'm saying I'm saying it'll get to the point where they're making loads and loads of money, like enough to supply their families. Yeah. So, I'm a big fan of that sport, and I'm very happy to end our Olympics episode talking about not even an Olympic sport, but a sport that I love.
Olympic sport.
So, with all that being said, Matthew, Noah, any other things you want to mention about the Olympics? Have you guys, honestly, how much Olympics have you all been watching? Not a lot, medium amount?
A lot. I mean, there's nothing like waking up at 9 a.m. in the morning, eating a bowl of cereal, and watching handball or whatever random sport you've never watched before. Like, it's fun.
I really have not been watching.
I was gonna say you've been pretty busy though. Yeah. I in your defense,
I saw a bit of gymnastics, swimming, and like rugby.
Yeah, that's you won't pick gymnastics.
What?
That's a little weird.
Gymnastics is a great pick.
Gymnastics is very entertaining. Yeah. The way they twirl and flip.
Dude, Simone Biles is a beast. We talked about this.
That's why you're watching. I'm kidding.
All right, well, thank you all so much for watching episode 33 of the Win It Out podcast, Matthew.
It's a pleasure to have you back. I look forward to our spike ball match.
Yeah, I look forward to it too, Matthew. Yeah. I will admit, in the water, you got locked down. I'm not saying you do out of the water, but I think it's a little bit harder to defend.
When he's wet.
What? What? What?
No, it's just because you can dive in the water.
Yeah.
And I got roll touch.
Yeah, you do. No, I'm not gonna lie.
Nice
this is no. Even though that, although I was throwing a little shade earlier, Matthew is a freak athlete, and I'm not even kidding. And we were playing spike ball, and I swear this dude has Kawhi Leonard clamps on me across the net. I'm really normally pretty good. Like, offense is one of my strong suits of the game, And dude, I swear I couldn't put a ball away. Like he is good defense. So props to you for being someone who doesn't play spike ball that often. You're incredible on the defensive side. Can you barely put the ball in the net?
I don't know what it is, but it sucks to put the ball in the net for me.
It's all right. You just pass to your teammate though, and that's all you need to do sometimes. All right, good episode. Episode 33. Congrats, 1-0 podcast.